Skate Season 2 is just on the horizon. In just under 5 days, we will be playing the Skate Season 2 update, experiencing the new locations, new skate pass, new changes to the visuals, new replay editor changes, and much more. But before all of that happens, I want to take a step back and take a look at what happened in all of Season 1, the Skate Season 1 Retrospective. This will go over every single piece of content and change that we have received in Season 1 throughout the entire life cycle of it. Not only will we be going over the Skate Season 1 launch, we will be going over all of the changes they made to visuals, all of the changes they made to rewards, all the changes they made to the events and the events themselves, and much more. Let's get right into it. To start us off, let's begin with the launch of Skate Season 1. Skate Season 1, this brought a lot of things to the game, but also a lot of controversy to the game. On October 7th of this year, we received the Skate Season 1 update. This introduced the very first seasonal battle pass called the Skate Pass, where you would earn tickets in order to achieve new tiers. Alongside this update, it brought new skatable areas, new challenges and tasks, seasonal events like Skate-A-Ween and 7 Ply Maple Harvest, new brand partners, additional cosmetics, new tracks to the soundtrack, a new skate pass, and bug fixes and quality of life improvements. Let's start off with the locations. In my opinion, these were very lackluster. I think they did the locations wrong in Season 1, and I know a lot of people sharing a same sentiment towards that. The Skate Season 1 locations are very mid and lackluster because there's just absolutely nothing to do there. They were already existing locations, they just added a few ramps around them and called it a day. That's not really what we want, and what we want is something along the lines of Season 2. Season 2 is adding a brand new location with tunnels. We've never seen that location before, so that is why I'm much more excited for the locations in Season 2 than we were in Season 1. Season 1 locations, yes, they had 1 or 2 challenges around them, and that was basically it. I never saw anyone else around those locations ever again. Kind of just goes to show that no one really cared. At that point, we're already off to a shaky start with Season 1. Here's where more of the issues came in with the launch of Season 1. So in Season 1, we also had the Dead Space bundle drop, which was a massive controversy to start the game off with this very first season. What the controversy was that people were upset because the Dead Space bundle was, you had to pay $40 to get this bundle. You had to pay about $35 to $40 for the Dead Space bundle. You would get some boring stickers. You wouldn't even get the skateboard that we got in Skate 3, which was kind of crazy. You got the skin, which looked like it was kind of made of cardboard, and it all around just kind of looked cheap and boring. A lot of people were very upset about that, and especially with the price. What did the Skate dev team do to prevent any more backlash? They didn't do anything. They just let it stay there and let the revenue come in. That's also going to dock some points for Skate Season 1, because having that much as a bundle, I get it. It's a free-to-play game. You need to make your money, and you need to make your quarterly earnings deadlines, so I understand to an extent, but I'm not going to sit here and defend a multi-billion-dollar company for this. Like, it's definitely a wild decision, and especially since there was a code to get Isaac Clarke for free in Skate 3 compared to spending $40 in the new game. Alongside Skate Season 1's launch, we saw the first pack of visual changes. This made the game look a little more warm, so it made it look a bit more orangish hue to the map, and all around I think it looked pretty good, but I still prefer the original one where it had these cooler colors. It was more like closer to nighttime, to be honest, like daytime. It was like that sweet like 3 p.m. kind of time, where now in Skate Season 1, after Season 1 launched, it ended up being like more close to like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. around that time, like just afternoon, and it just made it look very orange and saturated, and I like it. I don't think it was a bad change, but I think it was sort of an unnecessary change. And now, what everyone has been waiting for, the Skate Pass. The Skate Pass was first introduced, obviously, on October 7th alongside the Season 1 update. And it was met to some appreciation because people like getting free stuff, obviously. But a lot of the community and me was kind of iffy about the whole thing, just because if your game is quote-unquote early access, you do not have a battle pass in it. That is why I have this theory of like, this is not an early access game. They're just using that as a shield to void criticism and to obviously push out an unfinished game. Season 1 brought lackluster cosmetics in the Skate Pass. There's no doubt about it. There's lackluster cosmetics, and there was even controversy with the Skate Pass, not even just the Dead Space bundle, with the Skate Pass as well. So the Skate Pass, they marketed a different colored long sleeve shirt. I believe it was a sweater, or it might have been a hoodie. I don't remember. I'll throw it up on the screen right now. But they showed this in the marketing material, and it was not the same. And it took them I believe, like a month or two to finally give us the correct color. So I found that pretty baffling, because how would you market something that's in the battle pass and just not show it and not give it to the players? That was just kind of baffling to me. And the tier 100 skin is a 4 out of 10, at least for me personally. I know there's might be some people who like it. I think the season 2 tier 100 skin is better, and it's just a mouse. So, and not to mention, like, all of the other stuff in the battle pass was just mediocre at best. There just was really nothing that stood out to me and a lot of other people. We don't want to really fly around as a chicken. Let's be real. Like, we don't really care about that. It's there. If you want it, you can get it. A lot of the problems with the skate pass for me personally was the amount of San Van bucks that you got back from it. So in order to buy Skate Season 1's Battle Pass, it's 1,000. That's like, it's 1,000 San Van bucks, and that's average for like your Fortnite, any other game that has a Battle Pass, right? $10 is like the average. But what this game does wrong is it doesn't allow you to get even half of your San Van bucks back. You get 400. Remember, this is season 1's launch. We're not talking about right now, because right now you get 500. They increase it by 100. So, and even then, that doesn't make any sense. You barely get half of your shit back. On season 1's launch, you don't get half at all. You get 400. You get $4 of your $10 back. So this means you have to pay another $10 the next season, because you can't buy just $1 worth of San Van bucks. You have to buy $5, and even then that won't be enough, because you need another 100. So you need to buy another $5 one. So at that point, just you're spending $10 for another battle pass. I just think that's absolutely wild. I don't think they should have gotten away with that, and obviously the criticism got to them because they increased it by 100 to 500 San Van bucks, and even then, that is the most cheapskate shit I've ever seen in my life. I guess, you know, it happened, and it's not gonna change. It's not gonna change anytime soon. Skate Season 1 also brought along new tracks to the Season 1 radio. If you want to look at all of them here, you can, but I don't care about that much. I don't listen to any of those. Final topic of the launch for Season 1 I wanted to go over was the stability and bugs. So this is where I get a little fired up about it, because Season 1's stability was so bad. In my personal experience, I don't know about many other people's experience, because I wasn't like actively looking at other people's stuff. In my experience, it took me about 10 minutes to log on, and then I got kicked off, and then I had to wait and sit in a queue of 200,000 people. So I had to wait over 25 minutes to play my game that I wanted to play at launch. And even then, the maintenance wasn't up until I believe it was closer to 2:30 p.m. instead of 1 where they promised. So that was an hour and a half behind. So we were already waiting, and then I get kicked off multiple times. And by the time when I actually get on the game, the server stability was so bad. I was like floating around. I was watching people lag around. I don't know what was going on, but I saw people like floating around. I saw like, I don't know what I was looking at, bro. And then like me, when I did tricks, like let's say I did a laser flip, it would be in like slow motion because the server was lagging. Utter and complete server lag. And it was just baffling to me. I really hope Season 2 does better with the launch and how stable it is, because I don't think Season 1 was quite there yet for me personally. It got fixed, definitely it did, because it was either the next day or the day after the next day. I was playing just fine with barely any issues. But yeah, the server stability is definitely docking some points off of my ranking of Season 1. A lot of the bugs, like people being stuck on Grom Island, it has been happening all throughout Season 1. They didn't fix it even at the launch of Season 1, and even at the end of Season 1. I believe there's still some people stuck there. So I have no idea what's going on there. They have fixed a lot of bugs, but there's also been a lot of bugs that they haven't fixed in Season 1. People being stuck on Grom Island is honestly the biggest one that I wanted to go over. There are a lot of others, but they're more like minuscule ones. One of the other ones I wanted to talk about was when you're in the skate pass and you buy an item with your tickets, sometimes it'll take away San Van bucks from people instead of taking away the tickets. I've had people in my comments telling me that, and I've had people on Twitter saying that as well. So that is a crazy bug. It is taking away your real life money, which is unacceptable. Moving on from the launch of Season 1, fast forwarding about 2 to 3 weeks after Season 1's launch, we had the Skate-A-Ween event. This event ran from October 21st to November 11th. This was the event that I was the most excited about out of anything that was going on around that time. I was so excited because the Skate game had a Halloween event going on. Halloween is my favorite time of the year, and seeing that Skate was celebrating it at this kind of extent, astonishing to me because I was so excited. To be honest, I wasn't too disappointed about Skate-A-Ween. I was a little bit, and we'll get into that. To start with my disappointments, Skate's Skate-A-Ween event had these challenges that were just so insanely easy. You would get them done in about 15-20 minutes at max, and that'd be it. You would have them all done. This also caused issues where everyone would have chocolate coins, which was the event currency. There was just not enough stuff to spend it on, so you'd eventually get every single item, every single piece of clothing that you wanted from this, and then you'd have thousands of chocolate coins left over, and you had nothing to spend them on. You had no conversion system to convert them into rip chips, convert them into rip score, or anything like that, so they were just sitting there and you had nothing to do with them. So that led to a change in the next event, which we will get into, which was the 7-ply maple harvest, where you won't even have enough currency to get everything, because they saw the feedback from this Skatoween event and they're like, oh shit, people are having way too much currency, we need to make it much harder and much more of a grind. So that's what they did. This event was the catalyst of that, because it was poorly tuned. Another disappointment was the cosmetics themselves. They gave away free stuff, which was very nice. I like that we are getting free stuff in this game, but the problem with that is we did not get anything really great in the category of free. We had some masks, which we got for free upon login, and then all of the items for chocolate coins were just kind of mid, except for the one sweatshirt, which I kind of like, and that was it. That was a very big disappointment for me, because I was really hoping there was going to be some fantastic stuff for the cosmetics, but there just wasn't. It was disappointing. I want to talk about some of the good stuff in this event. I actually had a lot of fun in Skatoween, starting off with the community parks. Granted, I did not really like the Market Mile one. The Market Mile one was just kind of unskateable and didn't really have too much flow to it, which is a big part for me about skate parks, and I know it is a big part for a lot of other people. The Skatoween parks, specifically Hedgemont and Goldcrest, were great. I actually really like these skate parks, and I found myself spending a lot of time with them. Yes, they had their issues, like especially the Goldcrest one, where you just ride off into a wall after the ramp. It was like it was AI generated. Specifically the Hedgemont one, I found myself getting on, going to Hedgemont, going to the community park for Skatoween, and just vibing there for like at least an hour every single day, because that skate park was just fun. Want to know why? It had flow, and it had engagement, it had things to do, it had ramps, it had grinds. It didn't feel AI generated. It felt like it actually had some amount of soul to it, and it even had a secret graveyard area down below, and I found that so cool. That park, they should take notes on that park, because they need to realize what made that park great. Because I wasn't expecting me to be sad when that event happened. I was sad when that community park eventually left. I was gonna be crying, bro. I was like, shit, dude, I miss this shit. So yeah, I feel like that is the kind of emotion they should be trying to get out of their fans for their community parks. Like, hey, this park will come back next year, but you'll miss it. You know what I mean? You'll be sad, and we just haven't gotten that. But I got that from this one park in Hedgemont. I was sad seeing it go, because that was my skate spot for about a month. Yeah, I think they nailed it with the Hedgemont community park. And then obviously the addition of the challenges, the addition of any new challenges was a great idea, but obviously some of them need to be harder. And what I specifically mentioned about the easy things about this event was the tasks. So tasks you'd get done with 15 minutes and you get a lot of rewards, which I think was honestly a good thing. It did need to be toned down a little bit, but not to the extent that we will get into a bit later. But that is, to be honest, all of the stuff that happened in this event. There really was not much else going on in this event. Now, before we cover the Maple Harvest event, there is something else I wanted to cover as well. The middle of season 1, closer towards the end, we got a dev update straight from the developers of Skate, and this one was honestly a W. I loved hearing from the developers, and I think we need more direct communication from the developers in a way like this. They started it off by giving us 500 free San Van bucks, so if you saved your San Van bucks that we got for free, like I did, you will have 1,000. So next battle pass, next skate pass, you can get it for free. I haven't spent a dime on this game, and I'm getting the battle pass for free. And then they obviously talk about soft locking issues and progression issues, tasks, their feedback, ticket rollovers, and stuff like that. And it was nice to hear specifically about what they were talking about, some of the feedback they wanted to talk about, balancing issues, roadmap, player experience. It was nice to hear about that and the improvements they're wanting to make. But the one thing I wanted to talk about, these changes being implemented in season 1 that are affecting the next season. Ticket rollovers, any tickets that you earned in this season, you will be slashed in half if you did not purchase them with real life money. So, and if you have not spent a dime on this game like I did, and I have 4,000 tickets left available from Skate season 1, if I leave those tickets and don't spend them, and then season 2 arrives, I will have maybe 1,500 to 2,000 tickets left given back to me. So they are taking our in-game currency that we got and we worked hard for, unless you bought it with your money, which they won't be taking, which is crazy. They are incentivizing that people spend real life money to buy tickets so you keep them. I think that is a massive L, but I also understand, I guess, their point of view. They don't want people to just fucking breeze through this skate pass, but the problem with that is no one has enough to do that. Absolutely no one does. I swear to fucking God has even finished the battle pass to 100% because there's just not enough tickets. And I felt that they were kind of tone deaf in this dev blog when they said people were overflowing with tickets. I thought that was really fucking tone deaf, because how are people overflowing with tickets when everyone I'm seeing, and especially like everyone on Twitter and even me to an extent, has not had enough to even do anything with them. We don't have the battle pass completely done because we just don't have enough tickets, and I just felt like they weren't listening to it. And then obviously they announced that in season 2 they will be having more premium item value battle pass, so we'll be getting more name brand boards and stuff like that, which is a fantastic change. The dev update was, I would give it about a 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. I'm not saying 6, 7, go fuck yourself. And then the last thing they dropped in season 1 of Skate was 10 days ago. This was the Maple Harvest event. This went live from November 18th to December 2nd, so it is still going on. The parks are still here. This is where I think season 1 fell off of a cliff, because it really did not feel like they tried at all with this event, and we'll get into why. I can get going about this event for a long time. So to start off with this event, they only made it so the Goldcrest Community Park is the only one that updates. This means the Goldcrest one is the singular community park with the new Maple Harvest event parks in it. Edgemont and Market Mile, go fuck yourself, pussy. You're not getting shit there. You're just gonna get the same shitty and Impervitech community parks in those locations. So you're automatically stuck at the Goldcrest one. There's no choice in what you can do. And then we get to some of the park choices. Holy shit. These parks are so bad. I hate community parks so much, and unless they're done really good, like the Hedgemont Skateween one, please take notes about that one, because that one I always saw so many people there and I had so much fun there. I was actually getting my hopes up about this event, and it just fell flat on its face for me. I did not think that this was a great event at all. I thought it was maybe a 3 out of 10. I got off basically after I went to the park because I just did not care, and that part of the reason was because none of the rewards were good either. They were just the most basic stuff you could ever come up with, and I just felt no reason to chase these rewards. The parks themselves had no flow to them. They did not mesh well together. There were some cool ideas, like some giant skateboards and some giant broken skateboards, like broken in half, that you could grind on, and I thought the idea was there. The execution just wasn't. And especially like going up top on some of these locations, what is actually the point? You can't do anything up there. I was even on my stream, I climbed up this exact one right here. I just could not go anywhere else, because what is the point of going up there? There is absolutely nothing to do up there. Why even have that? It's like AI made it. It's so crazy. I don't think AI is making this shit. Obviously, it's just a joke, but at some point you gotta fucking wonder. And then like even at this one, right? There is nothing to do up there. There's absolutely nothing to do up there. You might as well just stay at the ground floor. And even then, it's just open wide space with a couple ramps and a grind, and that's it. Like, you can find that anywhere else in the city. There's no point in going to these parks, and it was the most lackluster stuff I've ever seen. One of my other massive issues with the Maple Harvest event was not having a single challenge to do. Not having any challenges was a huge misstep, and I've never seen them take a bigger misstep. They should have known no one was going to stay on the game if there wasn't any challenges. Having no challenges at these community skate parks, actually, what is the point of going to the park anyway then? Because if you're not just doing any of the tasks, what is the point? There's no challenges there. The community parks aren't fun. They're not cool. They're not engaging. What's the point? So people like me, we went to explore them, left after 5 minutes, and then just went around the city again and went to other places that we actually enjoy and have fun in. And then the cosmetics obviously were just there was just nothing there, and I did not enjoy any of the cosmetics, to be honest. And this is obviously where the event currency was tuned. So the 7 Pine Maple Harvest event, I was told directly that people have done calculations, and you can't fucking get everything with the amount of maple coins you get. Even if you log in every day and do every task and get the free bonus, you can't get everything. I was told that. I don't know if that is true. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments if they've had a similar experience. It is just wild to me how they went from having such an overflow to it being a fucking desert and you barely get enough to get what you want, let alone everything that this event had to offer. I think this was honestly the wrong event to start that change. I think they should have done it in season 2 and not in the Maple Harvest one, because Maple Harvest was already bad enough. Why did they need to add that in alongside it too as the final nail in the coffin? You know what I'm saying? The last little bit of stuff I wanted to talk about was this season offered a lot of skate bounties, which was pretty cool, and it had some nice brand collaborations. It had some nice trailers for it, stuff like that, and it obviously had the visual changes, which was pretty nice. But again, that was just about it. There's nothing else to really cover about it. Hopefully I hit just about everything. My ranking of season 1 is a 5 out of 10. I think season 1 launch was an okay start. It wasn't abysmal, but it wasn't great either. I'd give the launch a solid 6.5. I'm staying with my original rating from my original review about season 1. Where it gets dragged down is the Maple Harvest event, the ticket rollover changes, and the event currency changes, and obviously the battle pass controversies and the bundles controversy. That drags it down to about a 4 to 5 out of 10. But the thing that keeps it afloat for me is the Skateween event. I think that was an event that was done with at least some sort of love and attention to it, unlike the Maple Harvest. Merging everything together, all in all, I think it was about a 5 out of 10. I don't think there was anything too special besides the Skateween event. Nothing too terrible, I guess, maybe besides the Maple Harvest event, and even that isn't absolutely bad. There's been so much controversy with season 1, and I'm so glad we are finally getting out of season 1, heading into brighter and new places with skate in season 2. I think a lot of my issues with season 1 are being answered with season 2 as of right now. I can't wait to get my hands on season 2. I'm so excited to play it. It looks so good. Having new tricks added, new actual locations, and not just an updated version of existing locations. Having that in there is really nice. Some pretty decent looking cosmetics. Visual changes are really nice. Overall, I'm so excited about season 2, and a lot of my issues, again, with season 1 are pretty much being answered in this now. So that is the Skate Season 1 retrospective. I will give it a 5 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited about Skate Season 2? What would your ranking of Skate Season 1 be? Was it bad? Was it good? Was it in the middle, kind of like me? What was your favorite part about it? What was your least favorite part about it? Yeah, I look forward to seeing you all in season 2. Happy Thanksgiving. Probably watching this the day after Thanksgiving, so hope you all had a very fantastic Thanksgiving. And yeah, much love to you all. It's been TA for Bro. I'll see you always later.
But I keep on running, oh, I keep on running away. With summer coming, I'm humming, man, on the moon and the day. Shit, someone told me you're never gonna find real love in